doing this. Try to just move the car back and forth. It's probably not a good place to do it. You hear that? And the reason why that's doing that, you guys can see that. The strut assembly is resting on the tire. All right, guys, it is Saturday, May 4th. Pretty rainy one at that. So what we're gonna do today is inspect in detail as to why the strut is resting on the tire. So before I even order the coilovers, I want to just make sure that it's the coilovers that needs replacing, not anything else, because I'd hate to spend the money on a set of coilovers that's over $1,000 and find out that it's really something else. Okay guys, she is up. I got her on stands. If you notice, the caliper looks like the paint's been eaten. I'm gonna assume that the person who worked on this car probably had the brake fluid spill all over the caliper, and it's like that on all four corners and kind of ate through the paint, and that's why she looks like that. And the rotors look like that because I drove the car in the garage when it was raining, so kind of rusted the rotors. I'm gonna eventually refinish the calipers and get new rotors and pads. Let me show you what I found. It's pretty interesting on the strut, and we got a little critter here that made the strut his home. But if you can see how the strut, disregarding that bug, you can see how the strut is all rusted, and the bump stop is just kind of sitting there. I don't know if this is at full extension. I haven't measured it, but this definitely needs to be replaced. So I don't know how long this strut would have held, considering the way it is. I mean, that's really bad. And the driver's side, not so bad. But I'm gonna assume the strut just failed, and I'm gonna need to buy a new set of coilovers. And as a result of that failure and the way it's been driving, the driver's side tire is now showing cords. So it was out of alignment. And so in addition to shopping for coilovers tonight, I'm gonna need to get new tires. And if I'm gonna get new tires, I might as well try to see if I can score some good set of wheels on the secondhand market. 5-spoke black preferably. So I didn't expect to have to spend this much money on the Evo, but might as well. It doesn't make sense for me to get a good set of tires and throw it on these old NKs that's curb rashed and the wrong offset, because when I lower the Evo with the new coilovers, it's gonna get even more tucked in, and it's not gonna look right. Okay, so I'm gonna continue this tomorrow with the daylight, even though it's going to be raining. It's better than the garage lighting that I have now. So and plus I'll have the rest of the day, or the full day, to be able to remove the suspension and get it prepped for when the new coilovers arrive. So that's probably going to be sometime next week, and I'm just going to stitch that up when I do get the coilovers and I start the install. So tomorrow is going to be removing the suspension from the corners. Okay, guys. So I lied. It is a week later. It's May 11th. Sometime I think it's like around 1 o'clock. I didn't get an opportunity to do it the following day. I just decided to just wait a week and get the coilovers first. I got them yesterday, so hopefully we can get the whole thing done today. So let me get some lighting in here. Let me open up the garage door. And get started. So I'm gonna have my son help me out. He's back from college, and hopefully we could, like I said, get this all done today. And then we'll probably rock these for a while until I can find some new wheels. I'm looking for 18 by 9.5 plus 22 offset. It should fit the car. It should provide a flush fitment. I'll throw the one that has a bit of the cord already showing on the rear passenger side. I'm not really gonna take it anywhere far, just enough just so that I can drive it around locally until I can find a set of wheels. It should be okay. So the first thing we need to do is loosen the strut nuts and leave one on, just so that when we remove the bottom bolts, it doesn't drop. I will probably also kind of sand this a bit down and throw some primer on the body, just so that it looks cleaner, and then eventually get this thing powder coated. We're gonna need to do that to both sides. And actually, let me just get some quick lighting on here. So these are the two bolts that you're gonna need to remove. This guy, and then that guy here, and then there is a bracket that connects I believe that's the brake line, or maybe to the wheel sensor, or for both. Gonna have to remove that to loosen that, so that we can remove this entire assembly out of the way and put in the new one. So it looks like it's pretty simple, but nothing is simple with anything that's over 25 years old or over 20 years old. All right, so let's get this thing removed, the front, and then we'll cover the rears after we're done with the fronts. So I picked up a cordless electric impact wrench that I'm replacing from the one I picked up previously that I ended up returning because I thought I wasn't gonna need to do any more work that will require that much torque. But I figured, you know what, having had the amount of issues that I have removing bolts on these older cars manually, I decided, you know what, let me just bite the bullet and just grab one. I'm getting it charged now, and hopefully I won't have to use it, and just a manual wrench would do. But I picked it up for insurance just in case. I need one anyway because I got rid of my air. It's always good to have something in case you're doing any sort of labor that requires a lot of torque. So these are the coilovers that I picked up. We'll be taking it off the box soon, while that wrench is charging. I am not sponsored by them, nor am I getting any sort of discount. This is out of my own pocket. Pretty much most of what I have, well, actually 99.9% of what I've spent on these cars are out of pocket. I don't have that much of a following, nor do I have a large enough channel to be able to generate any sort of income by it. So and for those of you guys that have been following, you know that this is really mostly for me to use for record, so that my son and whoever it is, maybe one of my daughters, who eventually inherits these cars, have a history of what's been done to these cars, so that if they need to use my channel as reference, they could. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and get started and start removing the assemblies, the strut assembly. The rear is going to be a bit tricky. let me show you, because the top of the strut assembly is behind these panels, and we have a sub that we need to remove first before being able to get to the passenger side. So hopefully that wouldn't be too much of a hassle. I'm hoping that it's just well, that one's all rusted. Hopefully just these 3 bolts is enough, but yikes, that's a little worrisome right there. I don't know if that's gonna be stuck, but okay, let's get going. Forgot to mention that you got to remove those bolts by the firewall also. I may sand the rust spots and then primer it, and then put a coat of paint and then clear it just temporarily until it's time for me to get this car entirely painted. So we got the first strut assembly out. Best ways to use a rubber mallet, hit it here so that it dislodges from this right here, and of course just make sure that you remove the brake and the harness from the strut assembly. And so this is basically the where you slide it off from this guy right here. But sometimes the fact that this got compressed, it kind of stuck on there, and with all the rust, you might need to hammer this out, and then she'll just come off. Make sure that the assembly is supported by jacks, so it just doesn't swing down and either probably injure you or cause some damage within the suspension. We're going to do that on the other side, and I'll unbox the coilovers and show you what the difference is for the front between the stock and the new coilovers. See how much rust came out just from the top. It's pretty bad. So, and it looks like I'm also missing a cover, a plastic cover here, because that's all full of dirt and grime. So let's see what we can clean off of here first and get this primered and painted real quickly and let that thing dry before we install the new coilovers. Okay, here's a quick comparison on what the new one looks like versus the old one. You guys can tell that there's a significant difference between the diameter of the springs from the stock and the new BC. That's going to provide some more clearance on the wheel setup that you can run. I'm going to leave the setting the way it is, and I'll just adjust it when I lower it. I'll worry about that when I have everything installed. So this is the passenger side. That's the culprit. You could see how the metal is bare. That's from rubbing from the tire. But if you look at where it mounts to the perch, it's full of holes. This thing is getting ready to collapse. So yeah, definitely needed a change. So as I've said earlier, we got to remove these panels to get to the top of the strut assembly, and you got to remove this sub. I think it's a sub. The unfortunate thing is that that's
particular bolt is all rusted. Threw some liquid wrench on there, let it soak for a little bit, but I can't seem to be able to twist the head enough so that I can remove it. So I think what we're gonna do is, there's 2 bolts here and there's one up here. So I think if I remove these 3, I should be able to swing it this way. Okay, success. I was able to leave that rusty nut there and just swing it. Like I said, you just gotta remember, which I forgot to mention, that there's a clip here that you have to undo so that you can completely swing it out. So we should be able to remove the panel and get to the, it's going to be a little bit more annoying because we can't completely remove this to get to it, but we should be able to reach in enough to be able to do that. I just don't want to have to mess with that nut right there. So to remove this panel, you have these push pins. What you need to do is, it looks like this, just press on the middle and it'll pop right out. So let me do this one. Oh, actually, I need something sharp. Let me grab this guy. So if I just press on that, press it in, and then I can just pull it right out. And there's one other piece that really all you need to do is this guy right here. You just unscrew it. Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. Just unscrew this guy. Okay, so we got the nuts exposed so that we can reach it. I just folded this back. I wasn't gonna go ahead and remove this because something's binding here and I don't want to disturb anything and break anything, so it's easy enough to just fold this back and still be able to reach the two nuts over there. And then for the exterior, it's just that one bolt right there. And I believe that also looks to be like 19. So, and there's no bracket that might be attaching to a brake line or anything like that. So I'm going to assume it's like that for the opposite end too. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the bolts on the bottom two are 19, the top are 14. For the rear, the top is 14, and then 17 on the bottom of the strut. Okay, so a little bit of an issue. I thought we would just be able to unbolt this and then swing this up over, but the top of the strut is too tall for us to be able to clear it down, swing it this way as an option. So it looks like we're gonna have to remove this bottom control arm so that we could swing it down and just let's see if I can give you a better angle. So remove this, swing this down so that we can just pull this strut this way. So that's what she looks like with the lower control arm off, and we were able to get the suspension a lot better than trying to maneuver it out with that thing on. So I may be able to put that back on before putting on the BC, on the new suspension, because it's already lowered. Okay, so we got the rear driver's side installed. I'm not quite sure if you guys can see it with this lighting, but got everything put back, torqued down properly. We'll do the adjustment later. We'll just get all of the corners done. Okay, so we got the passenger side done, all torqued and bolted up. I'm gonna leave the panels loose because I'm gonna still need to adjust the dampening. I'm gonna drive it around for a bit to see whether or not she needs to be adjusted. Okay, so we got the fronts installed. Definitely there's going to be a lot more clearance because the stock one had the perch cup all the way out here, like that. So there's a bit more clearance. More clearance now to fit in a, I'm going to go with an 18 by 9.5 plus 22. The work on the GTR might be those specs, but I'm not quite sure. I forget. It's been a while since that car's been on the road. Okay, so we got this installed. I'm gonna put the wheels on, lower it, and then tighten it again, because of course as soon as it compresses, it's gonna loosen the top just a tad bit. So here is the driver's side. I don't know if you guys can see it, there's no light here, but anyway, the fronts are done. I'm gonna slap on the wheels, we're gonna lower it, and then try to figure out what we're gonna do with the strut tower. Okay guys, continuing the install. It's about 9 p.m. at night. I had to do some other things, had to pause a little bit, so I got it lowered. The front has a 2-finger gap, the rear has a 2.5-finger gap. I'm not gonna record me jacking it up multiple times and adjusting the ride height. I would normally, if I was serious about the balance on this car, I would normally borrow my friend's scales and corner balance it, but you know, at this point I just want it to be even distribution. So I'm not going to be doing much, simply also because I still need to get the wheel and tire combo for this car and get her aligned. Also, I think tomorrow what I'm going to be doing is sanding this down and maybe painting it white, so that I can replace or put back the strut tower, because I want to get her outside on a flat surface and kind of take a picture on what she looks like after she's been lowered for you guys. Let's see what else. The goal, I think, I don't know if I've already said it, but the goal is 18 by 9.5 plus 22 with a set of summer tires, and maybe put winter tires on the stock ones, or if I can find something that's 18 by 9 plus 30, I think that would work too. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go new, if I'm going to continue to look for something secondhand, but I would really like to get her aligned and have my son use it on a day-to-day, just so that he can get used to driving stick. So we'll see what comes up in the next few weeks. If nothing comes up, I'm probably just going to end up buying new. And as you can see, I'm not really fond of the fact that it's now tucked in, because it's a bit lower than before, and the camber I think got a little bit more aggressive. So anyway, I threw in the tire with the cords showing on the rear passenger side, because this is just going to be used locally in and around the neighborhood. So it's not going to be going anywhere far where I'd be concerned about that. Like I said, I'm nearing getting a new set of wheels and tires anyway, so I just want to just get on the road and get used to the manual. By the way, forgot to mention that the next thing I'm going to be doing with the Evo probably is most likely the battery relocation, and taking the battery from the front and taking it to the passenger rear trunk, of course. And maybe sometime in a few weeks, maybe I'll be able to get to do that. I need to order the parts. Okay guys, one of the things I forgot to mention and cover is how to adjust the ride height. So I have the same set of coilovers on the STI, so I'm familiar with this already. And what you would need to do is to loosen this ring, and actually. Go and grab your spanner wrench that comes with the kit, and I've already loosened it, so you'll use that. And the way to use it is kind of hook this and apply the pressure so that you can untighten the ring. So I plan on, I'm really not going to do any kind of measurement, but just make sure that if you do, if you're looking to lower it about an inch, loosen this ring an inch above that inch. That way when you do lower it, this doesn't get in the way, because you need that space, that inch space, to be able to bring the collar down. And to lower it, I usually use the top ring and go counterclockwise. I'm sorry, clockwise to lower it, and counterclockwise to raise it. So seeing that I'm planning on lowering this, I'm gonna go clockwise using this ring until I get my desired height. I typically don't measure. I just go, and I know it's a pain in the ass to kind of go back and forth, but I don't know, and I don't know the size of the collar, the collar, and I don't know enough what one revolution translates as far as height. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it. This evening I'm going to lower this 3 revolutions on the front, and then 5 in the rear. So we'll see what that gets us. And yeah, and to be accurate on the number of revolutions, because you can lose track, I just usually mark it with a Sharpie. So as soon as I mark this and I see it again, that's 1 revolution, of course. So anyway, so that's how you do it. And hopefully I only have to do this once. Hopefully my guesstimate of 3 revolutions is enough. But yeah, I'm never usually lucky that way, so I'm probably going to be jacking it up multiple times. So that's done. Also, what I want to note is that I got her registered as classic, so I have a lifetime registration. All she needs now is safety. The next post is going to be me troubleshooting the no crank, no start issue on the STI. So stay tuned for those of you that are looking to get some STI content. That's going to be the next post. See you.